that natty.
You got it?
Oh yeah, we live now. We live. Yo, Wagwan. This your boy, brother. I knew him. See, this the Sports Time Zone. I got all my guys in the building. The whole squad in here. TZ Davis in this thing. TZ. To the beat. Oh man, pressure. Yo.
What it do,
everybody
y'all?
out there. Make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe. TZ, tell them also what they need to do if they ain't did that yet.
Man, go on Instagram, follow us at SportsTImeZone. Yes, sir.
That's what we doing. We in here. Pressure. What's good?
Man, just chilling. You understand me? I knew it was time for me to come on in and let them pressure points. You know what I'm saying? Start working on them pressure points. So I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Salute, gentlemen. Glad to be here.
That's what's up, yo. Salute to GoodLifeClothing.com, KE Creations, and Gene Hennigan, all out there. Yo, KE Creations, the president and the owner of KE Creations, is actually going to be joining us. She said she's going to be here for the Super Bowl show, so she will be on here. Salute to KE. Shout out to everybody else who's showing love. Remember, yo, next week is the Super Bowl special. Y'all definitely don't want to miss that, y'all. We need everybody to tune in. We need everybody to share that one and subscribe. We're going to have a whole panel full of guests on here. We're going to have trivia. We're going to have a champion crowned for the trivia champion. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun episode, and we're just going to wild out. So y'all make sure that y'all tune in for that one. Cue the beat. What's happening? My producer, what's good with you?
What's good, man? Let's get it, man.
Yeah, let's start.
Super Bowl show. Let's get it.
It's a reason why I shouted out my producer, Cue the beat there. As y'all can see in his background, y'all see what it's looking like over there. Y'all see the Kansas City. He all lit up. He got the Kansas City lights.
Let's
TZ
go.
Smiling like a kid at Christmas. The boy and Pressure even adopted the Kansas City Chiefs this year, so he's smiling too. Like that.
We going for that Tracy.
Knowing good and well that ain't his team, but he's still gonna jump on the wagon anyway. So let's talk about it, though, man. Let's talk about it, man, a little bit. This game, Kansas City Chiefs against the Houston Texans. That was a good game. Not so good for those who was gambling and betting, but Vegas won. Kansas City Chiefs fans like TZ and Q to beat, y'all won as well. Just looking at the numbers as a whole, Patrick Mahomes did what he does. Patrick Mahomes came through with the dub. CJ Stroud. Let's look at the comparison between CJ and Patrick Mahomes. CJ Stroud actually put up more passing yards than Pat Mahomes. He went 19 for 28 for 245 passing yards. Mahomes gave you 16 for 25, 177 with one touch. That doesn't really tell the picture of the game, though. It was a pretty close game, and I feel like Texas, they can't hold their head down. They played a valiant effort. They did what they could do. Nico Collins, though, I got to tell you, Nico, he should have did a little bit more than what he did. Pressure. I expected Nico to do better than it was a couple of times he was on the sideline over there all hunched over, looking like he was out of breath or looking like he didn't want no more parts of the hits. I didn't know what was going on with that, but I felt like Nico could have did better. Before I get into the officiating, because I will get into that in a little bit, but I just want you guys' takes on what you got out of that game. Is there anything from that game? What are your biggest takeaways from the Texans versus Kansas City game? I'll start with you, TZ, since you are the resident Kansas City fan. We're going to go with you first and then pass the rock over to Pressure.
Man, we put so much pressure on CJ, man, forcing to throw the ball. Got so many sacks, so many 3-and-outs. Like, that third quarter was vicious. Like, you know how many times they sacked CJ that third quarter?
Nah, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
6-7 times. He didn't even have a chance to throw the ball away. That's how much we was there. Through their O-line. Every time.
That's crazy. So, Pressure, when you watching this game, what are your thoughts of Kansas City and your Tracy boys?
Well, I mean, I think it was a solid game. I think like you said, we're going to get into it later with
Oh,
the
yeah.
officiating. So I don't want to get too deep into that. But
We're going to talk about it. I hope
like
Q
you
got those
said,
plays queued up too.
Texans, they can hold their head high, man. They gave them all that they wanted. They gave them all that they wanted. So it was a solid game. You touched on Nico. I think a lot of that, he's just really getting back for number one. And it was a hard hitting game, physical. He took some hits, and he fell on the ball at one point, and that's when he was kind of hunched over.
Okay.
I ain't got my win, bro. You know what I mean? But it was a good game to watch.
I feel the same way. Q to beat, big time win for your boys, man.
Yes, sir.
How were you feeling about that game? Like, what are your takeaways from Houston Tech? I mean, you in Houston, so being that you're in Houston, you got a beat on the pulse of the city right now. How are they feeling about the hopes for the Texans, and how are you feeling about your Kansas City Chiefs?
Well, people out here, they kind of disappointed a little bit, as they should be, having not, at least made it to the AFC Championship since, they've been around. That's kind of dragging a little bit for the fans. Yeah. But for me, though, I feel like the Chiefs, I feel like they played just a solid game on offense. It wasn't nothing spectacular. We did what we were supposed to do. And, Nico Collins, he's just now getting back. One thing.
You broke out a little, Q.
I think you went into a tunnel there, Q, for a minute. You went into a tunnel.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying, Trent McDuffie was pretty much locking Nico up for what he can, for what he could. He still got a couple yards, but Trent McDuffie is a good cornerback. So it's really hard for you to get off on Trent McDuffie like that. He's pretty good. But the Texans you got Diggs coming back next year, Dale. So
maybe not.
Maybe not, Dale.
Maybe not. If I'm the Texans, I'm looking to move on, honestly, because he's longer in the tooth, coming off a serious injury. He's gonna want some bread. No, thank you. And that gives Michi, because he missed the start of the season, so that's gonna give Michi some more time off season, so he can kind of get going and fill that role. Or you can bring in another free agent, or address it in the draft. But
Precious said no, thank
Diggs
you.
won't be back.
He's like, no, thank you. Hey, but salute to H-Town, though, man. Look, I know they had high hopes for that team this year, especially after how they performed last year, how they overachieved last year. So a lot of people expected them to go a little deeper in the playoffs than they did. But they ain't got nothing to hold their heads down about. Like I said, they went up against the defending champions, the two-time defending champions. And
what we going for, Noomsy?
I don't know what they going for.
That Tracy. We're going for that Tracy.
I know nothing about the blood clot Tracy. But what I do know, before that game started, and I was sitting here watching the commentators, I don't know, who is it? I think Swagger was up there.
And
Aikman. Yeah. These guys, what I tell you, they were slurping Patrick Mahomes into another dimension. I'm talking, before the game even started, they spent a good 45, TZ, they spent a good 45 minutes just sitting there talking about the great Patrick Mahomes and how, my God, look at his drop back and just look at this. It's the little things that he does. He just shrugs over. Look at how he flosses his teeth. Oh my God, look, he just tied his shoe in a perfect bow. It got to the point, it was disgusting. I mean, you got Joe Buck holding on this side, and you got Aikman on this side, and these boys are just going to town on Patrick Mahomes. I told my boy, I was like, yo, they over here giving Mahomes a double BJ. They went crazy. No, but for somebody who's not a Kansas City Chiefs fan like me, and a lot of others that watch the show, it can be a little bit overdrawn. And then when you get into the officiating, so we get into the officiating, there was a couple of questionable calls in that game. One being where two players converged on Patrick Mahomes when he took off as a runner, not in the pocket as a quarterback. He took off as a runner. The two Texans players converged on Patrick Mahomes, completely missing him and hitting each other. Dave, what did the referee call?
Pass.
Yeah.
What? What is that?
What did the referee call, Q to B?
They called roughing the passer, which was the correct call.
Oh, it definitely wasn't. It definitely
Correct
wasn't.
call. Go look at the rules. Go look at the rules.
On that
Take it
same
to the old
play,
church. Go look at the rules.
Go ahead, Pressure.
And on that same play, there were two defensive linemen that were held by the Chiefs. No call.
They missed.
And the Texans, they had 8 accepted penalties on them. Chiefs had 4.
Not
That's
that
trouble.
That's average.
And this is like their average 50%. They get 50% more calls than whoever they're playing.
That's good. For the last
No,
8 years,
we
for
got
the
a
last
whole
8
field.
years, we've been
Listen,
the worst. We get more penalties than anybody
Come on,
in the last
dog.
8
We
years.
got
Come on, Q.
advantage, man. That's like
We can look it
Brian
up.
getting calls, man.
Yeah.
You
Because they're more
can't be home field
aggressive.
advantage if you're not going to call the game fairly.
Like
Home field advantage comes from your fans.
right.
The refs should have no stake in the game. Period.
With all due respect, Q and Dave, y'all boys
Right,
are the best team in the NFL. You guys are super talented. You got the best quarterback in the league. You got the best defense. Y'all don't need help from the referees. But if you throw in the referees on top of that, ain't nobody finna beat y'all. Like, if y'all are already that good, a team has to be perfect. They have to play a perfect, flawless game in order to beat y'all. And then even on top of being perfect, then they got to do a little extra, because even if they're perfect, then there's a call that the refs could miss, or there's a phantom call that they could throw, and that changes the whole complexion of the game. Y'all are beating teams by like one score victories. So that means that 50% of calls that y'all are getting are pretty much the difference in y'all beating these teams and not beating these teams. So I ain't gonna take nothing away from y'all, even though I kind of just did. But there's that too. So Vegas,
So they don't miss calls against us.
Well,
we're gonna take
They never
50%.
say
miss
They
that.
miss
calls,
calls, bro.
or else
They
they
miss calls.
just every play they just drop it out of their pocket.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Like they
so we
can't call
We
everything.
can't call everything.
That would be too
trying
obvious.
about spilled milk.
That would be
They
too
always said
obvious.
we get all the calls.
Hey.
We were the worst penalized team in the last 8 years.
there was one of those
Including
drives.
this year.
There was a drive that CJ put together
Is
in
that right,
game.
Q?
This year
And
we
there
were like
were
middle of the pack, but last
5.
year we were the bottom.
There were 5 holding penalties on one drive against the Texans.
And how
5
many-
holding penalties
Yeah.
on one drive, and they still got in the scoring range. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying that all of those holding penalties were bogus, but I am saying 5 holding penalties on one drive versus you guys. They almost didn't even get. You guys almost didn't get flagged at all for holding through that whole game. And Mahomes
They had 4 accepted penalties, the Chiefs, for 29 yards.
And Patrick Mahomes has an eternity in the pocket to throw the ball.
And he's flopping. Every chance he gets, he is
I'm counting
flopping.
Mississippi's back there. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4. And he's still up there burping the baby. Burping the baby.
Greatness, man. It's great.
Yeah, I don't mind the flopping. I don't mind that.
Something's got to be done.
Something's got to be done.
But it's okay. It's about to be done. We got to go for that Tracy.
We going that Tracy.
Yes, we going for
It's
that
good
Tracy.
after that Tracy.
If you got to use that sideline as your advantage, do it.
Right, he
gonna
was just
keep
trying to get a
our
late
eyes.
hit. You know they be laying
Yeah.
anyway.
They gonna
And-
so do it.
And their tackles, especially that left tackle, he gets off quick. every snap.
If we can get out
quick, his back pedal before Mahomes even get ready to get the
Before
ball.
the ball is even snapped, he's already in full. He's in full.
Yeah. If we can get out quick, and they don't call it, do it. Keep doing it.
But it's got to be called.
Well, that's not our problem.
You know they ain't gonna call it. At this point of the season, they're not gonna call it. Not anymore. They ain't gonna call it.
Everybody does.
Something I wanted to bring up was Chris Boyd. First play really kind of put the Texans behind the 8 ball on that kickoff. He gets throws his helmet off, gets a 15-yard penalty on a decent run back. Mm-hmm. So you add 15, and then you get into it with your coach, pushing him on the sideline.
Yo,
I would be surprised.
And the crazy thing about that, I would love for us to cash in. If we cash in on red zone, that we didn't even get 7 out of that. We got 3.
Right, but you probably wouldn't have even got that. But you probably wouldn't have got that if he kind of maintains it and keeps his composure.
My man cussing out this coach and all that, yo, that he wild.
Yeah, that's
for that,
wild.
Like you said, he ain't gonna be on another team next year.
I don't think he will because he's been in the league, I want to say like 6 years, and he's been pretty much strictly special teams. And I saw they were bringing it up how Kelsey got into it with Reed. And I'm like, you're not even in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, we know.
Like, you're not even in the same stratosphere.
They get to do certain things that average players don't get to do. We all know that. But over the weekend, though, there was also some more going on. Let's flip the script a little bit. Let's go over to Detroit Lions. TZ Dave, your Detroit Lions at home took the L to the Washington Commanders and a rookie quarterback by the name of Jaden Daniels. Now, this game
shout out
right
Q
here,
to B. He called it.
This game right here, like they say, this game right here, I watched every minute of this game, and I picked Detroit with my mind, but my heart was going with Washington. You know, I'm gonna put that out there.
Your heart did not tell you Washington.
Hey, Jaden Dan, you know I'm gonna go with the black quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Gotta pull for that, brother. But the defense of Detroit, this is the real story. Detroit's defense gave up 45 points. Their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, who's supposed to be the best defensive coordinator in the league, quote unquote.
One of.
Well, he's definitely one of now. He definitely ain't not after the team hung 45 on you in your own building and sent you packing. Yeah, you definitely not V1 anymore.
So you can't blame all that on him. This right here, when you got to start at the 30-yard line.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how can you stop? I mean, it's hard to put all that on him when they started at the 30.
3 picks. 40. Yeah, okay.
And I think there was 2 fumbles.
Yeah. 2 fumbles, 3 picks.
And J-Mo threw a pick.
Yeah, the receiver.
That was on a first down. You just put that in your pocket or throw it out of bounds.
That took all the momentum right there.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Man. Head coaching, that was a dumb play.
I don't know why Campbell called that.
Yeah.
That wasn't Campbell. That was Ben Johnson, the OC.
Yeah, but Campbell, he's the final say.
He did prove it. Yeah.
He's the final say. Like, it goes from the OC to the head coach. The head coach says yes or no, and the head coach said yes. So he got to hold that L too, Campbell.
I don't really see Campbell getting involved in the offense.
You don't see have you seen him? You look at his face. You see?
He's engaged. He's engaged, but he's not. He'll say go for it on 4th or something like that. But he's not. No, don't run that play.
He got a
It was the play design. Like, they don't use J-Mo in no flea flickers like that. They use him in laterals and like screens and plays like that. He don't throw no.
That's the element of the play
all. But I'm gonna call Detroit's coach Dan Campbell. I'm gonna call him making that call, and I'm gonna call him Yuck Mouth because that bottom, that snuff, whatever he got going on in the bottom of his mouth, he need to get at that. Like that, but my man in New York said, yo, that's nasty work, son. his whole bottom, like that whole bottom row. Like, but nah, 45 points. And then they gave up 28 points in the second quarter alone. In one quarter, they gave up 4 touchdowns in one quarter. That is crazy. And I'm looking over at the sideline, and it's like every single time Washington had the ball, they scored. Jaden Daniels put up 300 passing yards for Jaden Daniels, 2 touchdowns. He wasn't, and those numbers are not even that's out of this world crazy, but it was just a complete team win. Now, to the credit of the Lions, Washington was getting scored on every possession too, it seemed like. I mean, it seemed like Washington couldn't stop Detroit for a minute, right?
Yeah,
it was going back,
the scoreboard was lighting up back to back.
They couldn't hold Gibbs. Gibbs was getting off.
Yeah, and Washington can't defend the run that good. So they should have kept going with Gibbs. So there's a lot of coaching error in this. Washington is one of the worst teams in stopping the run, bro. Why stop running? He had 105.
Yeah, I think Diesel said. Why did they stop running? Why did Detroit stop running the ball?
Well, they were running out of time too.
Yeah,
Dan Quinn.
And pick six.
Like the game was already out of control.
I can't believe Dan Quinn beat us, man. Like, we let Dan Quinn beat us.
Gotta hold that LTZ. I was ready for y'all boys to go to the Super Bowl too, man. I picked y'all to get all the way there, yo. Like
I had my Chiefs and Lions like ready. I thought it was gonna be Chiefs and Lions.
Yeah, you seen Diesel. Diesel was on the show with he had the whole Detroit jersey on, and he had
jerseys out.
He had the Pistons over the Lions jersey. Oh man, but yeah. But shout out. I don't want to take anything away from Washington, man. So Jaden Daniels, he's one game away from the Super Bowl as a rookie. Q to beat. You were the one who said it. You called it early in the season. You said Jaden Daniels would be the best rookie of this season. But did you see this? Did you see one game away?
I didn't see the best rookie performance ever. I didn't see that because with that win last weekend. He surpassed CJ Stroud rookie year.
Oh, yeah. So, CJ even said it. CJ said it.
Yeah, CJ said it. To me, CJ had the best rookie year I ever seen. And now we got a new one, like 1 year later. So, I mean, Jaden Daniels.
We might see
the first rookie to take to the Super Bowl. Like,
No, he's not. No, do not disrespect. Do not disrespect Dan Marino for being.
Oh yeah, Dan Marino. Yeah. I thought he was about to pull out that Cam Ward.
No.
Yeah. I thought he was about to hold us.
No. Hold up.
Now we was babies, man. I was a baby kid, bro.
It happened.
I'm talking about what I see.
Do me a favor, pull up if you can while you get a chance. Pull up Dan Marino's rookie stats and put them next to Jaden Daniels' rookie stats. Well, that's something we could look at a little later. But in the meantime, I want to talk a little bit about Jaden Daniels' expectations at this point. Being that he is a rookie quarterback, is it a successful season if he loses against Philly?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's already been a successful season.
Yeah, they made the playoffs.
Yeah, regardless, it's been a successful rookie season.
So regardless of what he does, it's a success.
Yeah, regardless.
This is just extras.
That's already cemented as far as having a great rookie season. That's cemented. Now this, as long as he gets out and he's healthy, no matter what happens against Philly, as long as he comes out healthy, ready for next season, so they can build, continue to put pieces around him. Success.
They need some more receivers anyway.
Well, he's playing with house money right now because ain't nobody expect him to get where he at right now. So, like you said, anything he does at this point is going to be considered like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Because he's gotten his team into the playoffs. He beat the Lions were the number 1 seed.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
He just beat
15-2
on the road. He went on the road. He basically
been on the road all playoffs. He beat the Buccaneers.
The whole
playoffs.
All right, so I got Dan Marino.
All right, put him up. Put him up, Q. Put it up, Q. Put it up on the thing. Let's see what. Let me see what it looked like. For those of you all at home, this is the perfect time zone comparison. Dan Marino, the only quarterback that I've known to take his team to the Super Bowl. We're going to compare his numbers versus Jaden Daniels, who's also a rookie, who's one game away from the Super Bowl. And let's see whose season looks better. Let's see. All right, so here's Marino. Look at the numbers.
2,210 yards. Rating 96.
20 touchdowns, only 6 picks as a rookie. A 96 QBR.
Watch this.
Pressure, you don't look impressed.
You don't gotta tell me about Dan Marino. You don't gotta tell me about
Dave.
Dan Marino.
You see the numbers, Dave. You see a 96% QBR for
3,568 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. That alone is beating Dan Marino.
And he got about almost 1,000 rushing.
Hold up, though.
1,000 rushing.
Hold up. Jaden Daniels has also played more games than Marino did. Remember, this is only a 6
played 11. Marino played 11.
All right, let's go through.
Right. So you're comparing 11 games versus
17, 18.
Right. So come on. So whose numbers really look better now?
Tell that, radio.
Jaden Daniels missed 3 games. So
even with the 3 games, though, Q, even with the 3 games,
15, 16.
We can still take some.
He for sure got less picks. He got less picks for sure. He ain't throw more picks than Marino.
How many touchdowns did Marino throw?
He threw
16, 20?
20
touchdowns.
And how many Jaden threw?
I'll give him like 17.
He threw how many?
9.
No, touchdowns. How many touchdowns did Jaden throw?
Oh, you can't see that, huh?
He threw way more than 9.
No. No, I know he threw more, but I'm trying to see because Dan Marino threw 20 touchdowns in 11 games. So how many did Jaden throw in his 14 games? 15?
Oh, I have to do
he missed 3 games, right?
Yeah, but he's also played 2 extra.
Yeah.
Right. So he's played 2 extra games. Right. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is, okay, so here's Jaden.
25. So the passing is, he's got more yards for sure.
Of course.
He's been averaging out, but the touchdowns are about the same.
But look at that, and that QBR is a dramatic difference, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, yeah. But
that's
you also
he got
891 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Well, you know Dan ain't gonna run. You know Dan would never.
That's a plus. That's a plus. That's how you get a plus.
And he got rushing touchdowns too.
Yeah, so that's a plus over Dan. That's how.
Yeah, but that QBR. Okay, I get where you coming from with the rushing and all of that, but Dan was a pocket passer. He was not a. He wasn't gonna scramble. It could be a wide open lane for him to get the first down, and he's still gonna throw it. Like he's gonna throw it with nobody in front of him and the first down marker right there. He's not gonna run for that. But just comparing Jaden Daniels to an all-time great like Dan Marino, that tells you a lot about Jaden Daniels and his trajectory and where he is. So salute to him. Real quick, Buffalo. Buffalo and Baltimore.
Yeah,
Buffalo versus Baltimore Ravens, yo. That game. But let me just say this. I was going for the Baltimore Ravens. I wanted Lamar. My boy Lamar he's from the 305. You know, everybody that's from South Florida, I always want to make sure I give them props and credit. But this was sad and hard to watch. These boys did everything they could to stay in the game and have an opportunity at the end to pull off a comeback and get that 2-point conversion. But the tight end Andrews, he drops the ball. There was also a point where he fumbled the ball on a prior drive before that.
Yeah, and he missed a pass. And he dropped another pass.
And then,
he had 2 drops. and that fumble.
2 drops and a fumble. That could very well be the difference of the game. But then I say this on Facebook, and then people are, but Nimsy, but what about Lamar Jackson? And he had 2 interceptions. What is all of that about? Well, you're not gonna give. Well, you can't. I mean, look, we're gonna hold some of the L for Lamar Jackson as well. He gotta hold some of that. But the bulk of this L gotta go to Andrews, yo. Like, you don't have the opportunity, the ball placed in your hands with the game on the line in the end zone, and you drop it. This was crazy. Did any of us pick Buffalo? Did anybody pick Buffalo to win this game?
Nobody.
No.
None of us picked Buffalo. So we clean sweep and we got it wrong. So
2 clean sweeps we got wrong.
And that's very rare that happens. TZ, what's your takeaway from Buffalo and Baltimore? Like, what is this? First of all, who has to hold the majority of this L? And what's the future for Baltimore and Lamar?
Receivers and I kind of blame Harbaugh a little bit. I feel like Derrick Henry didn't get the ball as much as he should have. When he came down to those crucial drives, they got towards the red zone and stuff. There was kind of more throwing it, which I think is their strength. But Derrick Henry should have got way more than 84 yards. He should have had at least 3 touchdowns. They probably would have won if he had 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But if you're pointing fingers, Derrick Henry dropped that pass, he still would have been running on.
Yo, that's true.
So,
he did drop one.
mean, and you can, I'm sure Mark Andrews would tell you he feels horrible. And he's got that OU DNA, so that's not like him.
That's on your mind all off season.
That's not like him to not have those passes. But it is what it is. There was like a total of
that was hurtful. 4
turnovers, I think, and they had 10 points off turnovers, and you lose by 3. So you know you got to take care of the football.
So Pressure, according to you, those drops is what made the difference. Those drops, those turnovers, or it's a little bit of everything. All of it. I mean,
it's a little bit of everything. You can't put everything on Mark Andrews for this last play. I mean, sure, he would expect himself to catch that ball, right? And I mean, he is going down. You can see his foot kind of give way a little bit. The conditions.
Pressure, you could idea.
Though. With no excuses, right? No excuses. He expects to make that play.
So
unfortunately, he didn't.
So do y'all think it was in his head at that point because he was already having a bad game? And do you think, like, okay, the game's on the line. This is an easy one right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah,
I can do it.
Hey, Q. And did you notice that was a Chiefs play? We run that play, and we won that play to win the Super Bowl last year. That same play.
That's why they love. You can't run our shit.
He found a way to turn it into the Chiefs. They found a way.
They can't help it.
You can't run corn dog.
With the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are the only ones to run those plays, y'all.
That's our play.
They've invented the offensive playbook.
When you do that same. That was the same play he did to McCole Harmon last year in the Super Bowl for the game. That was insane.
That's wild. But I'm gonna say this, man. I hope Lamar is, because at this point Lamar is like, yo, I'm sick of this shit. Like he couldn't even keep it together no more. Even at the end of the game when they was interviewing, he was just like, yo, I'm tired of this shit. Like he basically was just saying it like, man, I'm tired of getting close and not getting there. So I understand the frustration. People online were killing him. Like they were like, oh, he's throwing his teammates under the bus. He's doing this, he's doing that. Like they made so many different they were coming at him really bad.
Besides the turnovers, I feel like he had pretty much good decision making. He was hitting the right pockets, he was hitting his passers and receivers. Like the ball was on the money, a lot of throws. So
a lot of them was there. They were just dropping. It was just dropping passes. So I just hope Lamar can get it together and he comes back next year strong. But it's like at this point, nothing but a Super Bowl is gonna be considered a success for him.
Right. And Marlon Humphrey said that this team is over. That's what he said. Because you look at it with free agency, contracts, all that. So and he said it may even be me that's gone.
Lamar gonna
window
be
might
there.
have
As long as they still got Lamar, Derrick Henry, they gonna rebuild off them.
his window might have closed. But I know whose window is still open right now is the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Salute to TZ Dave. TZ,
He holding that natty up.
The Lone Ranger, TZ Dave.
He holding that natty up. Oh, State, man. Tell us to stop playing with us, man. I told you, boys, he was coming through with that natty, and they didn't believe me, man. Now look at him.
Yeah.
We hoisting that. We the champs now. We hoisting that mug in the air.
Good for you.
Catch us at the parade, man. Yeah.
I can't. Yo, let's give
all y'all Notre Dame boys.
Let's give TZ Dave. Let's clap it up for TZ Dave and his boys.
Yeah.
Reason being, he was the Lone Ranger. He stood 10 toes down for his boys throughout the entire season, the whole year. And we was like, a lot of us was jumping off the wagon. Some people,
I was never on it.
Some people,
there was no need for me to jump off.
Some people was calling for y'all coach to get fired. Like they was even saying that he should get fired and all that. But here,
Ryan, they can't say nothing now, Ryan.
That's with the Michigan game.
We the champs now. Yeah.
As I was watching that game though, and I was just thinking about the strength of Notre Dame, their strength all season long, and in these playoffs has been their defensive backfield. Their defensive backs. They prided themselves on having some of the best defensive backs in the nation, but Ohio State wasn't seeing none of that. They were being physical with those receivers. Those receivers were getting roughed up. They were bumping them off the line of scrimmage. Every time a receiver caught a ball, they felt it. They dropped a lot of passes because the defenders were right there on them. But I just got to give credit where credit is due. Ohio State did not look like a national champion early in the season. And I admit that I was one of those who I didn't believe in them. But they came in and played a great game. They got their receivers going, and they got some good ones. They got some good receivers.
And we going to the league. Jeremiah Smith, see you next year, buddy.
They got some good ones. And the scary part about it is Ohio State, they were missing a lot of offensive linemen. Like their O-line was in and out. They had like they had like a makeshift patchwork type of deal, and they still showed out. Y'all boys are talented and stacked, TZ. Y'all are stacked. I think y'all are going to be back next year. I think basically y'all are set for the next.
I like Will Howard. This year he seemed more kind of relaxed in the pocket and better decision making. And he had an arm. He always had an arm. Like he could throw down the field. So just them plays to Jeremiah Smith and Ibuka, and it was just bonuses.
Yeah, Will Howard, he was 17 to 21, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns, and at one stretch, he hit like 15 in a row starting the game. So, I mean, that was great. The real difference maker was Judkins, period.
Oh, yeah.
Judkins was what made that team go, period.
Yeah.
And I think that the first drive for Notre Dame, it was an 18-play, 9-minute drive. Riley Leonard had 9 QB runs.
They could not stop that.
They shot their wad.
They could not stop that.
And they were spent.
They ran that play every third down. They ran that play every third down.
Turn out the lights. You feel me?
Every third down they ran that play.
That was it. They didn't do nothing till way late. And then they had an opportunity, but it was all for naught. And then what I didn't understand, I get it. Ohio State's goal line defense vaunted, but you're down there 4th and 9, and you're already down. The 3 points does you nothing because it's still a two possession game.
Right.
And then you miss it.
Yeah.
And what that does is missing it. It gives them better field position.
Yeah.
You if you don't get it from the 9, they're still backed up. And you can get a quick 3 and out on defense, but you give them the ball at the 30-something. It just didn't make sense. And you couldn't stop them in zone, and you couldn't stop them in man.
Yeah, I think by them trying to kick the field goal, that to me that showed like no balls, no guts. Like you're just playing scared, and you
gotta
can't.
risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, exactly. Risk it, no biscuit. You ain't gonna. You're not going to make it like that if you just trying to go out there and be safe. Oh, let me get some points here, and hopefully we'll get the ball back 2 more times in these last 6 minutes. Like, come on, it's not going to work out. So, Ohio State, salute, y'all deserve that dub. I'm gonna give y'all that, big shout out to Ohio State Buckeyes, Buckeye Nation, everybody up there that I know in Ohio. So salute to y'all. Man, we getting to that point, man. Pressure, you are in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, who are not familiar with this segment of the show, we get my brother Pressure to come on here. Excellent football mind, except he's a Cowboy fan, but we gonna still, we're gonna take that with a grain of salt. But Pressure, without further ado, these are your 5 uninterrupted minutes for your pressure points. So run the blood clot list.
All right. So what I want to talk about is the Chicago Bears. They made a huge hire, got the top head coaching candidate in Ben Johnson. Great offensive mind. He was the mind with the Detroit Lions. Obviously, they fell short, as we spoke about earlier, but I think he's going to do wonders for Caleb Williams, just from the preparation, the reads, all that. They've got lots of weapons already on offense. Their GM, Ryan Poles, he's been making things happen. He's not afraid to make various trades, bring in guys. You got DJ Moore, Keenan. I don't know if he'll be back. He looked like he still had some in the tank. And Moore's there, I want to say at least 2 more years. So I look for them to shore up that offensive line because that is a huge issue. They need to get a running back. That can be addressed in the draft as far as running back and maybe a stud lineman. And you also got free agency. And Brian Poles, he's been willing and dealing since he took over the position. So I think that was great for them. Also, he was looking at Dennis Allen from the Saints for defensive coordinator. I don't really like that. Their defense has been kind of middle of the road. Saleh is still out there. I would love him for the Cowboys, but I think if the Bears can get Saleh, who is
that from
like cream of the crop when it comes to defensive coordinator. He's had many top 5 teams on defense with the Jets. He came from San Francisco when their defense was out there squashbuckling. So I think if they can get in a guy like Saleh as opposed to Allen, I think that'd be a real feather in their cap. And I like what the Bears are doing. On the flip side of that, for my lowly Cowboys, it looks like per all the betting sites, Brian Schottenheimer is the favorite to be the Cowboys' next head coach. We've interviewed Saleh. I think that was more of a Rooney Rule kind of thing, which I don't like that rule because you're just bringing people in, playing with people's emotions, man. But it's either Schottenheimer or Moore, who was there already. But with Schottenheimer, he wasn't calling plays. He wasn't doing anything. Mike McCarthy was running that show. And when Schottenheimer came to the Cowboys, we got him from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they were dead-ass last in the league the year before. So typical Cowboys, typical Jerry Jones, doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is. And those are my pressure points.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Mr. Pressure with the pressure points, ladies and gentlemen. That's some real good stuff, man. I agree with you on that. Salah, man. If you can get to,
I mean, it would make a world of difference over there.
it would. It
If he goes
definitely
where?
would.
What happened?
Where you want Robert Saleh to go?
To the Bears defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put your ears on, man. I just spoke on it.
I was listening. I just had
That
to
would be pretty dope. No, that would be pretty dope. But good stuff, Pressure. Yo,
my boy.
Yo, for those of y'all, if y'all got questions, hold up. Diesel is in the chat. I just seen it. Well, shout out to Diesel.
Shout out Diesel, man.
Diesel
My main man.
the Lions gonna get a free third rounder for losing Glenn because he's black. And then he says he'd be so disappointed with his Cowboys. He's talking about you, Pressure. Salute to Diesel, man.
Oh, it is. One more tidbit. One more tidbit. No matter how it shakes out, we will have a Sooner with a Lombardi trophy. Okay? We've got with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Every time he does his intro, he brings up the Sooners. So, I mean, I wasn't a fan of him when he was with us, but he's flying the flag. For the Commanders, we got Tress Way, the punter, and Austin Seibert, the kicker. He's not playing right now, still on the team. Bills, Jordan Phillips. And those boys going for that Tracy, Samaje Perine, and Hollywood Brown, baby.
Yeah, Hollywood.
So either way, a Sooner will have a Lombardi.
Another
Lombardi. We got so
many. Came in the game and made a big explosive play.
There you go. Pressure will be happy. He will be a happy man either way. Baby. Yeah. Either way, well, I can stake claim too because there's somebody from Miami on every football roster.
We're moving on, guys. For the second time.
Know, that's 305.
He's not going for that Tracy.
We're not going to make it.
Hey, Q. Hey, read what Diesel just put in the chat real quick. Read that to Pressure. The last one.
Y'all can't spell choke without okay.
You can't spell. Well, who is he?
Salute Diesel. That's my boy. Yo, y'all check out my man Diesel. It's funny as hell on YouTube, man.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's hilarious. Good stuff. All right, this is the time where we got some real good. This is like the final four right now in the NFL. We down to our final four teams. This is the NFL semifinals, or as we call it, the conference championship games. The AFC championship game and the NFC championship game. And yes, Diesel, it is all about the fellowship. So now that we down to these last four teams, this is our segment called Who You Got? My man Q the Beat, he about to drop the list of these last four teams that we got left in the NFL playoffs, and we're going to give our picks, and we ain't going to water nothing down where I go give it to you large and uncut. So, yo, Q the Beat, run the blood clot list.
Yeah,
Who you got?
I'm pretty sure everybody already know the list, so let's get it. Sunday. All the games on Sunday. Don't be waking up Saturday looking for no game. Sunday.
Ain't no game Saturday.
You got the wrong week.
Right
there
here.
We go. We right there, Pressure. Put on your glasses, Pressure. Put your glasses on.
Sunday, 2 p.m. Eagles. Commanders, Eagles. Who y'all got?
This is a tough one, y'all. This is a tough one. Because the Commanders, they hot right now. They hot. The Eagles, they ain't really looked that good in their last game, but they still won. They got Saquon Barkley. They got the best O-line in the league. And they at home. This is another one of them situations where I'm going to go with my head on this one. I'm going to go with my mind. My mind is telling me, I'm going with the Eagles. My heart is with Washington, though. So let that be known. Who you got, TZ?
Well, let me tell you right now how I feel. Even though these boys sent us home, my mind is telling me, and my heart is telling me to go with the Commanders. I just feel, just basically off this game, if the Commanders force Philly to throw the ball, they can win. Because I don't believe Saquon Barkley, all them touchdowns, they still could lose. They get too conservative, and they'll run the ball, and then they'll be out of the field off 3 and outs. If the Commanders do that, they can win. Because Jalen Hurts is scared to throw the ball. He ain't threw the ball. He ain't threw over 120 yards the last 2 games. You know what I'm saying? They rely too much on Saquon Barkley, and I feel like that's not going to be enough. They going to have to throw the ball. I'm telling you. If the Commanders do that, they have a chance to win.
Okay, so you picking the Commanders, TZ, because you did a whole lot of there's that tap dancing, TZ. Once again,
I was just
tap
dancing. I got the
dancing.
Commanders. I just said that. I was just telling you the impacts of the game. And
how okay, the keys to the game. Okay, fair enough, Commander. And then we got somebody in the chat, Unleash the Champion. She says she's going with the Commanders. Pressure, go for it.
Come on, Pressure. Come on.
I mean, I'm a little concerned regarding Jalen's leg, because he was wrapped up and he winced. He was in bad shape. He came back in, but the Commanders have been hot. It may be destiny, you guys. It may be destiny.
No, don't say that. Not against us.
So I am going to pick.
Come on, Key. Make the right choice.
It might be. Go ahead. They both your rivals, so
I'll take the Eagles.
Okay.
I'll take the Eagles.
Okay. The Eagles. So far we split. Me and Pressure with the Eagles. TZ Dave and Unleash the Champion in the chat are going with Commanders. Q to B.
I ain't gonna lie. You know this, Noobsy. I am, even though I'm
he throwing up the dub.
I'm throwing up the dub because I'm going with my boy Jaden Daniels. I said he was gonna be the best.
Newsy, you know this. You know I'm part from DC, Maryland, right?
I already know. I know.
I got to at least root for us a little bit.
You got some roots. You got some ties down in the DMV. You got some DMV ties. So I see you. All right, Commanders. So we split. Me and Pressure got Philly, and you and Q got the Commander. Now I'm gonna tell you this: I'm not mad if the Commanders win. I will be I'm happy.
Not mad either.
Because I'm down here.
Either one of these teams.
And I think Dan Quinn is smart enough to realize that as a coach, he knows that. That's the key to the game.
I don't like either one of these teams, so I could care less.
I like them both. They both got black quarterbacks, but I'm in the DMV area myself right now. So I go outside and this Washington Commanders land all over the place out here.
For Saquon, I mean, I kind of like Saquon, but
as
a team, I don't like the Eagles.
My barber, shout out to my barber. He's also a Washington Commander fan. I'm coming to get that fade this weekend, so I need you to nice me up. I got you. But all right, Q, run the next one.
We don't even need to pick.
We don't even need
to pick.
We ain't sleeping with your 3-time Super Bowl champion back to back.
Let's go
versus the Buffalo Bills.
My homeboys, my homies.
We already know the 3 of y'all are all. Y'all gonna chip in with Joe Bucket.
You might as well just pick, gang.
Y'all with Joe Bucket and Troy Aikman. Y'all over here. One of y'all holding this side, and the other.
Is it clean sweep?
Who you guys? You. This last.
You gotta ride with the brother.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. No, I got Kansas City. I got the Kansas City Chiefs in this game, man.
Who you got?
Patrick Mahomes, he just finds ways to win. And that team
the refs.
With the refs, it's impossible to beat them boys. So I'm going with the refs.
It was written.
I can't wait.
It was written.
Listen, I can't wait for us to just win fair and square with no refs, with no calls.
So you know y'all
I
ain't
hope
been winning.
y'all do.
Y'all can't say nothing.
Man,
I
started
want
with
the
Eagles,
game
man.
to be even, Steven,
It started with
and let
Eagles
the
Super
best
Bowl,
man
bro.
win.
I would love that, but you know them referees, man, like they gonna make it
Nah,
hard.
gonna make it.
Hey, just sit.
Nah, go out make it.
Just don't make no calls, man. Just sit there, man. We'll win this game without y'all. We don't need y'all. We got Patty Mahomes. Just make the right calls. That's all we need. Just make the right
That's
calls.
All we need.
That's
And
it.
we still
We
gonna
don't want
win.
nothing
We
extra.
still gonna win, regardless.
Good,
If the
man.
refs make the right
One
call
more
or
game,
not,
man.
we still
All right,
beat
well,
whatever team in front of
Those
us.
are
It
our
don't matter.
picks, ladies and gentlemen. You got them all in there. So we all clean sweep with Kansas City. Now, our clean sweep record ain't been looking that good lately because we had got a couple of clean sweeps wrong last week. But we all picked Kansas City, and then we split with Washington versus Philly. So y'all
I'm
make
not
sure.
Sports Time Zone. Thank
All
y'all
right,
for tuning in. Thank y'all for having me.
No doubt, Pressure. Appreciate
right.
Pressure for being here.
Now,
Thanks again for stopping through. Pressure will be back. He'll be back next week for the Super Bowl special. So
And let me speak on this before I go. I will be on the Super Bowl show. Y'all probably remember last year I dusted everybody off. I'm not doing the trivia again. I'm finished. I'm retired. I hung up my crown. I'm done with these niggas. You feel me? I'm done. And I'm
out. Peace out. So Pressure say he don't want to be a part of the trivia competition that he won last year. I think he kind of scared because we got some real competition this year, and some people that's probably going to dust him off. So he ain't want no parts of that. But oh man, so we down to the segment of the show that we like to educate people with. This is a surprise to me because I don't even know who our history player of the week is. Q the Beat knows, but I don't know. So this again is all about education. We like to educate some of the younger viewers on who some of these old school players were that were greats before they even really started watching football or basketball, whatever sport. And also some of us old school heads that did see these guys play, but we may just have forgotten how great they were. So this is the segment of the show that I love so much, where we educate everybody on the historic players. So this is called the History Player of the Week. And this week's History Player of the Week is brought to you by yours truly, brother Noopsy, TZ Dave, and my man Q the Beat. And again, we don't know, so run the blood clot. Let's Q the Beat.
History Player of the Week, brought to you by yours truly. Let's get it. Surprise player. Represent H-Town.
H-Town.
To my man. But I got to do it for my team. Let's get it. History Player of the Week. None other than your boy, Derek Thomas.
Derek Thomas. Ooh, that's a good
linebackers ever to play the game, man.
This is a good one.
He died tragically in a car accident. R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Let's get it, man. He was cold, man. That boy was a sack machine. He did everything for us, bro. He was Hall of Famer. Of course, LT was his comparison, bro. He was cold,
like he played a lot like Lawrence Taylor. I just remember Derek Thomas as being like a nightmare for quarterbacks. Like he was a nightmare. Yeah. He could get to the quarterback. He had the speed. He could also drop back in coverage. Like, don't get it twisted. He could drop back in coverage and defend a running back coming out of the backfield. And he had the speed and the size. Derek Thomas.
Had the speed and the size, man. He was fast. He was great.
I don't know that y'all had another linebacker like him ever since him.
Nah, he's probably been the best. I would say DJ, Derek Johnson. Probably
maybe, but not on. He wasn't on this level though. Like
this boy was sick.
Look at that, the strip fumble, strip sack fumble.
Hey, this was one of the best defenses until right now. What we have, TZ, this was the best defense the Chiefs had, like in 1993.
93. Yeah. That was probably our best. Yeah,
they had James Hastings, Dale
Oh
Carter,
yeah, physical.
Neil Smith. Man, they had everybody, man.
Physical. Look at him coming off that edge. Like the O-line had no chance of blocking him. He came off that edge so quick.
He got that quick first step.
Yeah.
Boom. Look at him. Boom.
Yeah, he there already.
Already there. Look at that. And look how big that O-lineman was. The O-lineman knew he didn't have no chance of containing him. He was just fast. He was like Lawrence Taylor, literally.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Boom. You couldn't block him. Man. He was unblockable.
Yes, sir. Derek Thomas, y'all. He was one of the greatest.
Yeah.
My favorite linebackers.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Derek Thomas, y'all. That's good stuff, especially with the Chiefs going into the AFC Championship game. It's good that a lot of y'all don't know too much about the history of these teams and these players. So that was a real good one, Q. So we definitely appreciate that. Man, this show, we already at the 1 hour mark, y'all. So now we at the last 2 minutes. We're going to run our little quick 2-minute turn up, and then we're going to catch y'all on the Super Bowl show next week. For my 2-minute turn up, man, there's so many different things I can go with this, but I'm going to say this though. And I don't want to be too controversial, but I'm going to say this whole cancel culture thing going on right now where people can just cancel somebody just because if one person don't like something that somebody said, and then they get a group of people to agree that they don't like this person. So now all of a sudden they just gonna get this person canceled. I think that's whack, yo. We need to cancel culture altogether. Like, just because somebody don't like somebody or somebody don't agree with something that somebody said, y'all trying to cancel people and stop their livelihood. Y'all don't want people to support them no more. Y'all don't want people to buy their music or their movies or whatever it is they doing just because you don't agree with something that this person said or their personal views and opinions. I think that's crazy. I think it's whack. I think it just further goes to show why this generation is some follow the leader ass people. Like if one person do something, then everybody follows suit. And now, back in the day, if I didn't like a certain artist or a certain person, then I just didn't like them and I stopped listening to them. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like I'm going to send a memo and a letter to everybody out there in my neighborhood to just not go and support this person or none of that. So, and that goes for anything and anybody. Y'all need to chill with this whole cancel culture thing. I think canceling people is whack. I mean, unless it's like some really egregious, crazy pedophile type stuff like that. Other than that, y'all got to chill with this canceling people. I ain't canceling nobody. I don't care if you don't like them or if the other person don't like them. If I still like their music, I'm listening to their music. So, yeah, sorry, I'm still listening. Deal with it. That's just so I'm rocking. That's all I got. TZ, what you got for your 2-minute turn up?
Man, I hope everybody having a wonderful week. Let's just start there, man. Blessings to everybody, man. Secondly, my Chiefs, man. We still doing it, gang. We still here, man. We got 2 more games. Let's handle business this week, man. Then we move on, man. Let's go, man. Let's go, Chiefs, man. We here. 1 more game. And I see you, CC. I see you at that game, CC, in that wing with Taylor Swift, baby. Let me see you again this week. I see you, CC. We was at that game, turned up. I know you see CC in that game, boy. Newsy.
Yeah. I see
in that booth with Taylor Swift. Yeah. Let's go. 1 more game. We about to turn up. Yeah.
Cue the beat. Take us home.
For sure. Let's go, Chiefs. Like TZ was saying, 1 more game, man. Let's get it. Let's not play around with Buffalo. Let's go and knock them boys off real quick. Get back to the Super Bowl. First step. And go and win that Tracy versus whoever we playing. I just want to say also, y'all be safe out there. We got 3 inches of snow out here in Houston, which was crazy. It's all starting to melt though now because the sun coming out. But it was fun for all the kids and stuff. Everybody was out of school till actually Thursday. So y'all be safe out there in the road. Everybody was going downtown doing some stuff we can't really do out here, like sledding and snowboarding. It was crazy to see people out here from Texas doing that. So that was pretty cool. So But y'all be safe out there. Watch that weather. Watch some roads and highways. Let's get it.
Yeah, y'all be careful, man. Like, it's a lot of snow going across the U.S., so y'all make sure y'all careful out there, bundle up and all that good stuff. Also, next week is the Super Bowl show, so make sure y'all tune in January the 28th right here. We're going to be live. We're going to have a panel full of guests. We got TZ Dave, Q to Beat, myself. We got my boy Ty Hill from the ATL. We got Miss Fat from the ATL. We got, of course, Diesel, as I mentioned, who's going to be in here. We got my man Dave. He's bringing in a special guest. So we got a lot of people that's going to be in here. And we're going to have a fun show. We're going to have some trivia. We're talking about sports. We're talking about music. We're talking about sitcoms from the 90s and now. It's just going to be a dope show. Y'all don't want to miss it. It's going to be fun and it's going to be lit. So make sure y'all in here. Yours truly, brother Anumsi, my man Q to Beat, my boy TZ Dave. This is the Sports Time Zone, and we
sir. We appreciate y'all. Go hit that like, share, subscribe, follow Instagram Sports Time Zone. We here.
Y'all know what it is. Yes, sir. We out.
Sir.